Ryan, wait a minute.
What is it, Kim?
Why was your ex-girlfriend Paige waiting for you at the station? I thought you disappeared while I was in the restroom, only to find out you got into her car and drove off with her.
Oh, really? You saw that, huh?
I did, after coming out and looking all over for you for about a minute until I had the misfortune of seeing you doing that. First, just answer my question. Why was your ex-girlfriend at the station, and why did you get into her car?
Okay, don't rush me. So, the story of fate began about 6 months ago. Paige started working at my company. When I talked to her, I discovered that she lives surprisingly close by, and our feelings started to rekindle. Ever since then, we've been meeting up a lot after work.
So you're saying this is cheating, right?
Well, that's how it looks to you, but Paige and I are genuinely in love. We're even thinking about getting married. That's why today I decided to go back home to introduce her to my mom and get her blessing.
What are you talking about? If we were already divorced, then maybe it would make sense, but the order of things is all wrong.
Yeah, you know my mom doesn't like you, right? Paige has always been the one my mom liked back when we were together. So when I told her I was getting back with Paige, she urged me to get divorced from you as soon as possible. So honestly, the order of things isn't right at all.
What?
Anyway, I'm heading home in Paige's car now. You can either go home alone or walk to my parents' house right now. The choice is yours.
What kind of choices are those?
Well, you could come to my parents' house with me if you want, but just know that you'll feel pretty awkward watching me and Paige being all lovey-dovey.
Fine, I'll go to my own parents' house. Luckily, my family home is just one train ride away, so I'll head back there. But don't think you'll get off scot-free.
Suit yourself. It's not like I care.
Hey, sorry to keep you waiting. I apologize for taking so long to get in touch. Kim, were you okay over there? Did that misunderstanding family do anything to you? Oh, I'm fine, really. After I dropped him off at the entrance, I quickly texted him saying I'm meeting my fiancé now without even getting out of the car. It was kind of amusing. What kind of face did he make? He had his eyes wide open and he just said, "Huh?" It was honestly the most ridiculous expression you could imagine. I can totally picture that. By the way, I never expected that Ryan would be at my new workplace. I was shocked to find out he's married, and then to hear that his wife is someone I went to middle school with? What a double surprise. So you dated Ryan back in high school, right? Yeah, but it was for less than 2 weeks. Wait, does that even count as dating? Well, at least in his mind, it probably does. But still, I think he finally realized just how wrong he was about everything. I feel bad for causing you so much trouble. Even my mother-in-law took Ryan's words at face value. It seems like you really need to directly deny things to clear up this mix-up. It's okay, I don't want to be dragged into his misguided stalker antics any longer, so I was more than willing to help out. I truly appreciate it. By the way, are you heading out to meet your fiancé's family now? Yes, I just met up with him a little while ago, and we're on our way to his family's house right now. Got it. I am so nervous. You'll be fine, really. Just take a deep breath and try to relax, like you usually do. Thanks, but you have your own battle to face soon. Yeah, I guess I do. First, I need to make a quick trip back to my place to grab my things. It's going to be a bit hectic. Right. Good luck with that. But remember, don't push yourself too hard. I won't. Thanks for the encouragement.
Hey! What do you think you're doing, moving your stuff out of the house?
Oh, I'm just back at my place now.
I get that, but first you need to answer my question.
Well, when you get divorced, it's usually the non-head of household who moves out, right?
No, rejoice! You don't have to get divorced after all!
Wait, but I thought we were going through with the divorce.
What? Hey, Kim, you don't have to divorce me now. At least respond with some excitement.
Why should I? We're practically strangers now.
What are you talking about? Aren't you at your family's house right now? I'll come pick you up, so get ready and wait for me.
This is exactly why we're getting a divorce.
Yes, I get it, but forget all that for now.
You didn't really send that completed divorce notice to my family's house, did you? Oh, you've got to be kidding.
Huh?
When I arrived at my parents' house yesterday, my mother handed me a brown envelope that had your name on it as the sender.
Oh, no.
When I opened it, it was the divorce papers.
Well, that's...
The postmark says you mailed it from a mailbox near your office the day before yesterday. So it means you were already planning to get divorced before we even went back home together.
I mean, that's invalid now.
No, it was accepted, so it was valid.
But now it's invalid.
Why is that?
I was deceived by Paige. She went so far as to transfer to my workplace and then arranged the date for her to meet my family for marriage. Yet on the very day we were going back to her hometown, she suddenly claimed that her fiancé was someone else.
That's your complete misunderstanding.
What?
Paige didn't switch jobs just to follow you. She was headhunted and just happened to end up at your company. And the date for the marriage introduction? That was about Paige and her fiancé, not you.
But that fiancé was supposed to be me.
And there lies your biggest, most terrible misunderstanding.
Huh?
According to Paige, when she told her coworkers that the date for the introduction had been decided, you happened to be nearby and for some reason gave a thumbs up and winked at her saying, "Got it." Then you sent a message from the company phone saying, "On the day, come pick me up at the station and I'll be bringing my wife, but I plan to declare my divorce in front of you." A stream of one-sided misunderstandings kept coming her way. Paige tried to tell you that she had another fiancé and that your behavior was a hassle, but you completely ignored her.
No way!
Afterward, you just went on celebrating by yourself, and then you told your parents you were getting back together and moving forward with the marriage without knowing the real situation. When she talked to her fiancé and others around her, she found out through mutual acquaintances that your wife is actually me, someone who went to middle school with Paige.
Wait, a middle school classmate? You know Paige?
Yeah, apparently you didn't know that.
I can't believe it. This is the first time I'm hearing about it.
That's how things turned out. Paige reached out to me, and after realizing that you were so caught up in your misunderstandings, we concluded that the only way to wake you up to reality was through some exaggerated actions that were very clear. That's why I went along with the plan at the station yesterday.
So, all of this happened because of misunderstandings?
Yeah, pretty much. I didn't expect you to send the divorce papers to my family, but here we are. Well, the outcome's okay, so I guess it's fine.
You really surprised me there. I thought I'd be done with all this.
But seriously, we need to clear this up. You're treating this as if it's just a joke, but it's affecting real lives.
I know. It's just hard to believe how everything spiraled out of control. I was just trying to do the right thing.
Well, it seems I'm the only one who actually did the right thing.
By moving your stuff out without a proper discussion?
Well, I thought that's what we agreed upon after everything that happened.
We may have agreed, but it feels like you just jumped to conclusions.
Say whatever you will about it, Ryan. In the end, you're the one that asked for this, so goodbye forever now.
Paige, because of you, I've been divorced from Kim. You need to take responsibility and marry me.
You brought this on yourself by not listening to what people were saying. Honestly, even now, knowing I have a fiancé, how can you still ask me to marry you? Are you okay in the head?
What do you mean by that? Then why did you come to pick me up in the car and drive me to my parents' house? At that time, it was just the two of us in the car. I mean, normally you wouldn't be alone with a guy unless you liked him, right?
Well, I figured you wouldn't do anything inappropriate while I was driving, but actually, my younger brother was hiding in the back seat the entire time.
Wait, your brother?
Yeah, the dash cam was recording the whole time, capturing everything that happened inside the car.
Dash cam?
Plus, I was on a call with my fiancé the entire time, too.
What?
So the moment we were alone together in the car didn't last even a second.
Seriously?
Oh, and one more thing. My fiancé is Devin, the guy you've been pushing all that work onto.
Wait, Devin?
By the way, he's the son of the president's sister.
No way!
Apparently complaints about your work attitude have been piling up from Devin and other employees, too.
Really?
Including your harassment towards me. It's likely that serious penalties for compliance violations could be coming your way. You should prepare yourself mentally for that.
What a dead end this is!
Honestly, it's looking pretty grim for you right now. First, we reached an agreement regarding our divorce. Our financial demands would solely focus on the division of property. I decided that I would receive a larger share as part of the settlement. This decision was made to ensure that the financial aspect of our separation was settled amicably and fairly. After all the turmoil and emotional strain I had gone through, I wanted to close this chapter of my life as neatly as possible. It's likely that I'll never have to see him again for the rest of my life. The reason for this certainty is quite significant. Following the internal investigation at his workplace, it was revealed that my ex-husband had committed numerous compliance violations. These findings resulted in claims against him that amounted to the upper $300,000 range, which included damages and alimony. The situation was serious, and it led me to prioritize the victims of those violations when making decisions about the financial settlement. The aftermath of this entire debacle has had unexpected consequences. In a surprising turn of events, my in-laws have also decided to divorce. It seems that my mother-in-law, who has persistently defended her son throughout this turmoil, finally reached her limit with my father-in-law. The strain of the situation and the pressure of their son's actions became too much for their marriage to withstand. As things stand now, my ex-husband and his mother are living together in a run-down apartment. I can only imagine the kind of environment they've created for themselves. They used to be a close-knit family, almost inseparable, but now they're entrenched in a dire reality filled with poverty, where they struggle to even afford basic necessities like food. Reports indicate that they often blame each other for their misfortunes, leading to frequent arguments and an atmosphere thick with tension. It appears that they're caught in a cycle of anger and resentment, where each person is pointing fingers and refusing to take responsibility for their situation. I've heard snippets from mutual acquaintances who have relayed that my ex-husband, who once walked around with an air of confidence and pride, has now become a shadow of his former self. The lifestyle he once flaunted has crumbled, leaving him grappling with the consequences of his actions. He used to take pride in discussing his job and accomplishments at social gatherings, but now he's avoiding interactions altogether. He's become a recluse, ashamed of what he has become. It's somewhat poetic to think that the confidence he once wore like armor has now been stripped away, revealing a person who must face the reality he's created through his careless choices. In the past, he was the center of attention, celebrated for his success and charisma. But now the whispers surrounding him have shifted from admiration to disappointment. Friends and colleagues who once looked up to him are now distancing themselves, reluctant to associate with someone who has brought such shame upon himself. The social gatherings he thrived in are a thing of the past. Instead of being the life of the party, he's now left alone in that dingy apartment, which must feel like a prison. His former lifestyle has vanished, and he's left to confront the stark reality of survival. As for my mother-in-law, she seems to be struggling with her own identity. For so long she took pride in being the supportive mother, but now she finds herself isolated from her social circle. The friends she used to rely on have distanced themselves, unwilling to associate with her due to her son's actions. The warmth of their family life has turned cold, replaced by an uncomfortable silence filled with unspoken tensions. Their daily existence must be filled with constant reminders of what they once had, now overshadowed by the fallout of my ex-husband's behavior. While they live together, the reality of their financial troubles is palpable. The apartment they share is small, lacking in the comforts they once took for granted. From what I've gathered, they often bicker over trivial matters, their arguments fueled by stress and desperation. It's a troubling scene, with the blame game becoming their new normal. They've each taken to pointing fingers, blaming the other for the dire situation they find themselves in. The love and camaraderie they once enjoyed has dissolved into resentment and anger. There are times when I can't help but feel a sense of vindication. The chaos that my ex-husband unleashed in my life seems to have come full circle, now landing squarely on his shoulders. Watching him struggle to make ends meet and to deal with the consequences of his actions brings a strange sense of satisfaction. For so long I felt powerless and trapped in a toxic environment, but now I see the repercussions of his choices, and it reinforces my decision to leave that life behind. He used to laugh off my concerns, telling me that I was overreacting. Yet here he is now, faced with the reality of what he's created. The luxury of denial has been stripped away, and he must confront the truth. His actions have repercussions, not just for me, but for everyone in his life. I remember the days when he would belittle my worries, insisting that everything was fine. Now, with the weight of compliance violations looming over him, he has to grapple with the consequences of his poor choices. It's almost like poetic justice. He may have thought he was untouchable, that he could continue living without any accountability. But life has a way of balancing things out. Now the social gatherings he once enjoyed have turned into a cautionary tale, one where he is the subject of ridicule and disappointment. As I reflect on this, I can't help but think about how my mother-in-law has been affected as well. While I can empathize with her situation, I find it difficult to feel too much sympathy. After all, she chose to defend her son even when evidence against him mounted. Now that she's entangled in the fallout, she must face the reality of her blind loyalty. This entire experience has served as a harsh lesson for everyone involved. It's a reminder that actions have consequences and ignoring the signs can lead to disastrous results. For my part, I've learned to value my independence and self-worth, and watching them struggle only reinforces my belief that walking away was the right choice. I've moved on and started to rebuild my life. The burden of my past has begun to slowly lift, and with each passing day I feel more empowered. I no longer have to live in fear of my ex-husband's temper or the judgments of my former in-laws. There's a sense of freedom that comes with severing those ties. It's liberating to realize that I can forge my own path without being held back by the toxicity that once surrounded me. The struggles of my ex-husband and mother-in-law serve as a stark contrast to the journey I'm on, one filled with hope and promise. Ultimately, I feel grateful for the lessons this journey has taught me. I'm stronger than I ever thought possible, and I am ready to embrace whatever comes next. The past may have been painful, but it shaped me into the person I am today, and for that I will always be thankful. As I move forward, I will carry these lessons with me, knowing that I have the strength to overcome any obstacle that comes my way. I've learned to trust in my own resilience, and I am excited to see what the future holds. While I wish my ex-husband and mother-in-law well, I also understand that I cannot let their struggles weigh me down. Life continues, and so do I. I have a new chapter ahead of me, and I am eager to explore it. This is not just a new beginning. This is an opportunity to redefine myself. I'm determined to build a life that is filled with positivity, joy, and fulfillment. The past may have its hold on me, but I am ready to break free from its chains and embrace the possibilities that lie ahead. The world is vast, and I know there are countless opportunities waiting for me. I'm ready to seize them, to make my mark, and to create a life that reflects my true self. With each passing day, I will continue to grow, learn, and evolve, knowing that I am capable of achieving great things. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next